Good morning. You're listening to Insurance Matchmaking, your path to health, life, and Medicare coverage with Matt Libby Insurance. And now, sharing his knowledge, here's your host, Matt Libby.
All right, welcome back to Insurance Matchmaking. Boy, it's been a crazy week. It is very definitely enrollment season. This week is just, I feel like I'm going in 5 different directions. Tuesday night we had the Fall Bizapalooza at the Leslie Town Center, sponsored by the Cookeville-Putnam County Chamber. Great event. Got to see folks that we don't get to see unless we're at one of those events, it seems like, because we're just so busy. But had a really great time. Some good food. Had the whole staff there. They had a theme this year this year. We used to do a fall and a spring one. So this session, the theme was Flannel and Friends. And so... my creative staff, mostly Kalia's idea, but they all pitched in and decided they were going to do something, along the lines of having a campfire with s'mores and set up a putt-putt, and that was fun. We had a little kid's plastic putter and then actual golf balls to try to hit through, and not everybody could hit through. It wasn't get it in the cup like you would normal putt-putt. It was just get it through the slot in the sign. And some folks struggled with that, but we had fun doing it. We had little snacks giving away. I won a door prize. I think Bree won a door prize, and then we had a nice gift basket we gave away. I had a lunch box, or I say lunch box, a insulated lunch bag from one of my insurance carriers, and put some goodies in there, and had a gift card for lunch. So using the lunch theme. We provided lunch, and we gave you a lunch box to put your lunch in later. So hopefully, and I don't remember now who won that, but hopefully they'll enjoy it. It'll probably, if you follow the Chamber's website, they'll post that online, and we'll probably share that on our page too when we'll get those pictures from the Chamber. So we had a lot of fun doing that. So I want to get into, again, kind of the housekeeping. One of the things I said, it's been crazy. People are calling me. My schedule's full. It's hard to fit people in. And a lot of it is, I've been doing this for 10 years. In the first few years, I was very accessible. You called me. I probably could call you back in 10 minutes. And we went back over, what plan you had and reviewed it, and either said, yeah, just keep what you got, or here, I'll do a quick renewal, and boom, we're done. Well, because CMS has thrown in a lot of new rules on us, I'm not able to do it that way. It's not as easy. I have to have documentation that I have your permission to work on your behalf, and so we have to get that and I've mentioned, I think on last week or the week before, the Medicare one, they say I have to have it 48 hours prior. Now, again, if you're coming to my office, you can sign it right there, and then we can proceed. So that's very simple. But I'm supposed to have that form. I'm supposed to record the calls, because if anything comes up, any errors in your enrollment, or if you thought you signed up for something else, and sometimes people will file a grievance with the carrier. Well, carrier, it's like any insurance. When you have a car accident and your insurance doesn't want to pay because it's the other person's fault, and they don't want you to claim it through them, and so. In health insurance, they'll do the same thing. They want to pass the blame to somebody else, and of course, generally they want to pass that blame on to us, the agents. So now we have to prove that we did everything right, and we didn't do anything. We didn't falsify anything, and we had your permission. And so we have to provide those forms that said, yes, I give Matt or Matt Libby Insurance or Bree or Kalia, whatever agent you're working with, you're giving them permission to act on your behalf on your plan and what plans you want to discuss. And then if we're doing it over the phone or a Google, I use Google Meet now, is my Zoom type meeting. When we record those, they can require me to provide that proof that this is what I did. I didn't do it wrong. And like I said, the first thing is do you have that piece of paper signed, and was it signed 48 hours prior before you enrolled this person? So those are the little things that can get me in trouble if I don't do them. So it's not like we're not trying to be a pain. We're not trying to make it harder for you to get your insurance. But the easiest way generally for us to get that acknowledgement is there's simple online forms to do. I mean, you can do them on your phone. I mean, most everybody has a smartphone now. I mean, if you still have a flip phone and you can kind of get text, but it's just text, no, it's not going to work for you. You won't be able to do it that way. So we may have to, and the problem is we don't want to have to mail something to you, have you sign it, mail it back. Now we're taking, a week and a half, 2 weeks to get something we needed in 48 hours. So it's real easy if we can text it to you. And for the under 65, it's really a pretty simple form. We just have to have it, And again, on that one, if you call on a recorded line, we call you and record it. We can record that and say, yes, I'm giving you permission to do that. But it's easier if you send that in advance, because we usually will ask you for some other things, because we need to update your income. Your family size may have changed. You may have gotten married, may have gotten divorced, had a kid. Family size dynamics change. You maybe have a kid that you're not claiming as a dependent, and now they've moved in with you and you're claiming them as a dependent. Well, your family size has just increased. So we need to have all of those little things. And it's a lot simpler if you can fill out that form with all that information, and then we can prepare a quality proposal for you. On the Medicare is much stricter. That's why a lot of people don't do what I do. They'll do a Medicare supplement, or they'll do final expense life insurance. They don't want to deal with Medicare because there are a lot of hoops for us as agents to jump through to be qualified, to be certified, to make sure we stay compliant with all the CMS regulations. So that 48-hour rule on that scope of appointment, as it's called, is really it's a burden for us, and I realize it's a burden for you. But we have a simple program right now I'm using, and I've talked about it before, called Retire Flow. And some people have seemed a little intimidated by it. It's really pretty simple. If you're used to texting or doing things on Facebook with your phone, you shouldn't have any problems with it. And again, it's very easy to do on a computer, because you just if you're texting, you know how to type the letters on your text. You type your name in, you put in your address. It doesn't ask you for your Medicare number or your date of birth. That's a HIPAA thing, so we're not able to get that on that form. But it's really nice if you can provide those for us ahead of time, because we can search, we can find out what plan you already have, and so we don't spend a lot of time figuring out how to pitch the plan you have to you and say. So a lot of times, I looked at it. The plan you have is the one I probably would have recommended. You're probably okay to carry on with that. But of course it's going to have gaps, and maybe there's something we want to share with you for that. So that's the one part. The other part, so that's the first part, is just filling out your general information. So we know, your address, what county you live in, because with Medicare plans, the county really matters. There's plans that are available here in Putnam County that aren't available in White County, and vice versa. So that's some of the things we have to make sure that we're presenting the right plan for you. And then it'll ask for your doctors. And again, I think I mentioned this last week. Please don't just put Dr. Smith. Do you realize how many Dr. Smiths there are? Sometimes if you're not sure exactly how to spell their name or something like that, it's okay. That's okay. I can kind of figure out from there. But especially if they're a specialist, if it's Jim Smith, cardiologist, I need to know that it's the cardiologist, because there may be Jim Smith, urologist, and that would be the wrong doctor. And I'm saying, this plan's great. Dr. Smith takes it. You're all happy. And that's, again, why I need to have those recordings and those forms, because sometimes that's what comes back on me, that, I messed up because I put you on a plan your doctor doesn't take, and it was because I was trying to match it up with the wrong doctor. So that's very helpful. And then the prescriptions. Now, we do run into some issues on the prescriptions. I had one just this week that it was a combination of a 25 milligram and a 100 milligram dose. The 25 was not an option, and 125 was not an option. But the individual was doing that was able to send me a note, add a note to it saying that this is not coming up right. So I was able to double check that. And actually, in my search tool, it had the 25 and the 100, so I was able to search it correctly, but the other form did not have what I need. But all you have to do is type the first few letters of your prescription, and it generally will fill in. It'll pop up the options of what prescriptions start with those letters, and then once you select it, then it'll pop up what dosage you take. You select it, and then you select whether you get you get 30 every 30 days, or you get 60 every 30 days. And I know a lot of people will go ahead. The way they do it is, they get 90 every 90 days or something, or 180 every 90 days. That works fine, but I also tell clients when I'm working with you, I actually change that back to monthly, and it's fine. That's how you get them, because it is important to select that, how you're refilling them, because at least lets me know what way you're doing it. And there's some items that it's not something you're going to get every month. It's something you get, once every 6 months. I know things like nitroglycerin are usually, you get it filled, hopefully get it filled once a year and maybe use them up, and then you have to get a new prescription the next year because they're expired. Same thing with EpiPens. Now I will tell you, if we put in the brand name EpiPen, most plans are not going to cover it, but they do cover epinephrine. It is an EpiPen. It's kind of like Kleenex. Everybody calls, it doesn't matter what kind of tissue it is, you call it a Kleenex. So, but it's not, but you have different brand names on that, and it works that same way with the drugs. So that's one of the things that helps us do. And then the very last part of that retire flow thing is the scope of appointment. If I send you that link and you don't take any prescriptions, you don't have any doctors, or doesn't matter about doctors because you have a Medicare supplement, you just want to review your, which is the best drug plan, you can skip the doctor section because it doesn't matter. But if you're considering a Medicare Advantage or have a Medicare Advantage, you just want to see if you want, it's very important to have the doctors. But the last part of that form, and it actually won't let you submit it without either filling it out or saying, I don't, ignore. And that's the scope of appointment. That's the main reason we're sending you that link. It really helps us if we have the prescriptions ahead of time, because we can have all that stuff set up, and we're not taking the time. And you're sitting there at my desk, and you're waiting for me for 10 minutes to hunt and peck and put in all those prescriptions. I can have all that stuff set up for you before we meet. So that comes in real handy, and then have that scope of appointment and get that, so when, if you call in office and it's a Tuesday and Lena says, hey, Matt has 2:30 on Thursday, well, that worked. I'm going to send you this link. You need to do that right away. You don't wait to the next day, because if you wait to Wednesday, there's no way that's 48 hours prior to me talking to you on Thursday. So I really need to get that. I've had some Facebook groups talk about, 48 hours is not 2 days, it's 48 hours. I treat it as 2 days. I mean, if you send it in at 1 o'clock on Tuesday and and our appointment's for 11 o'clock on Thursday, that is close enough to 48 hours for me. And maybe I shouldn't be saying this on the radio, because it just, I get the 48 hours. Yes, some of those things get time stamped, so they could technically say, oh, you didn't wait 48 hours, you only waited 46. Come on, folks. The rule is ridiculous as it is. And that hopefully with a change in administration will change that, because that's what did it this last year. So we're on the break, and we'll talk a little bit more Medicare and enrollments and things after we come back from the break.
On the 12th day of Christmas, Twin Lakes gave to me. Twin Lakes is celebrating their customers this holiday season with the Twin Lakes 12 Days of Giving Christmas Giveaway. Beginning Black Friday, November 29th, visit them online at twinlakes.net to get your name in the bag. There will be over 75 winners with names drawn every day. To increase your chances of winning, revisit and enter every day through December 18th. Winners will be announced on the Twin Lakes Facebook page beginning December 7th. Learn more at twinlakes.net.
Looking for incredible deals and unique finds? Discover the Habitat Restore off South Jefferson in Cookeville. From furniture and home decor to appliances and building materials, we've got everything you need to spruce up your space, all at unbeatable prices. Plus, every purchase supports Habitat for Humanity. The Restore is also hiring. Approximately 30 hours per week, must be able to work Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, and lift 50 pounds. Questions, please email restore@uchabitat.org. Habitat Restore, South Jefferson Avenue, right here in Cookeville.
And now, back to Insurance Matchmaking with Matt Libby Insurance.
All right, welcome back. And I was talking before the break about getting the scope of appointment and those forms signed and sent, and we really appreciate it when you get those in. One of the things I touched on at the very beginning of this show today was, when I first started, I didn't have a lot of clients, and as I mentioned, usually could call somebody right back. I still try to, if I get a phone call when I'm not available, is at least try to get you back by, end of business. Sometimes it might be the next day, but if you called me on a Monday and I didn't get back to you on Monday, I definitely will get back to you on Tuesday. And if I don't get back to you on Tuesday, I really screwed up. I just misplaced it. I was supposed to call you back, and I apologize now because it'll happen. But the big thing was in the past, I was a one-man show. I didn't have a lot of clients, so I could, like I said, could be very responsive and get back with people right away, remember everything about their plan, and didn't need to get a folder or get on my computer to remember what I put them on or who you are, and I apologize. It really has gotten to that. Some of it I attribute to I'm 10 years older than when I started doing this, and I have a lot more clients than I had 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. So it is hard for me to fit everybody in, and that's the frustration we run into in what we call this enrollment season, and that's why you maybe heard me say the phrase, from October to December, I'm really busy. The rest of the year I have to work. I'm working, but I don't even have time to think about it this time of year. It's just go, go, go. And then the rest of the year I'm doing the networking, I'm doing the marketing and doing all those things. And I don't have a lot of time to do that during this time of the year. But that being said, I'm not the only one in the office that can help you. That was one of the things that's one of the reasons why I've gotten other agents, not just so I get more policies written, but so that when I'm too busy to get with you, I've got somebody else that can help you, and they're qualified. I've trained them on the plans, and again, sometimes they may have to stop and say, "Let me go check with Matt. I think I know the answer, but I want to make sure I'm right," or let me see if Matt's ran into that situation before. And a lot of times we could do that, and I may be in an appointment with another couple, or I'm just getting ready to start that appointment. And so, they can reach me, they can text me and get those answers. Because the reason I bring that up is one of the things this week, what I'm doing is because I still have clients in East Tennessee that, thank you, Mike Masaglia of State Farm in Oak Ridge, is allowing me to use his conference room to meet with some of my local clients there, because sometimes face-to-face is the only way to do it. The online forms can be a little cumbersome, so we enjoy being able to get together, but I don't have the time to do, as I used to call my road warrior days, where, I would drive an hour and a half to get to one appointment, run that appointment for an hour and a half, 2 hours, get on the road, drive another hour to somebody else, and get, maybe 3 appointments done in a day. Well, now when I can do so much by phone or at my office, I can go from one appointment to the next and just keep going. And sometimes it's kind of hard to figure out where I throw lunch in there, but I don't take a lunch. Even the rest of the year when I'm working, I don't generally take a lunch. I pack a lunch, bring it to work, throw something in the microwave, warm it up, eat at my desk, and keep working. When I go from one appointment to the next, it's kind of hard to do that because I'm not going to sit there and eat my lunch when you're with me. The other thing is, this is a strict rule for me. This is my rule on me. I don't answer the phone when I'm in an appointment with somebody else. So a lot of times, and that's one of the things why I have, my staff that will answer the phone, because they can get the phone, they can get the message. A lot of times they can answer the question, they can book the appointments, all those little things that you don't really need me for. That, hey, I lost my ID card. How do I get a new one? And I may be the one that has to request that ID card for you, but they can get that information and get it to me. And a lot of times, depending on the carriers, I have access. I can go online into my agent portal and get a PDF copy of your ID card and email that out to you, or text you a copy of it and get that to you. And those are the kind of things that I'll do after I've finished up my appointments before I pack up and go home. And I can work from home. I did that this morning before coming into the radio. I had several emails to answer and some things to do because I wanted to make sure I got them done, because when I leave the radio station here is when I'm heading straight to Oak Ridge from here. And so don't have time to get back to those emails. So I wanted to touch on those, so get those things in the works. So some of them was either answering somebody's question or saying, hey, here's the stuff I need you to fill out. So I was able to get that out instead of having to do that, a couple hours from now when I have a little bit of free time to get on my computer and do it, because I can't do it while I'm driving, obviously. So that's come in handy. But last year, Kalia was kind of bringing in her own clients, did a few clients last year for the marketplace, and Bree took care of a lot of my clients for just the renewals. So if you go to the link, the link's on my website, and there's a link there. It says, and it goes to, I'm using a program called TidyCal, and it'll when you go to that page, the main link, it'll pop up with several different options, whether it's just a policy review, or you're looking to enroll in Medicare, or you want to schedule a video conference with me, because when you schedule it there, then it will go ahead and send you the Google Meet link. And so when it comes time to run the meeting, you just click the link and go. So those are some things that you can do self-service. The other thing is that's all tied to my Google Calendar. So if I've already got appointments booked, or I'm going to be out of the office, whatever, I'm not available, you can't book that time slot. And if you really, it's like, this is the day I need to do it because I get off early that day, or that's the day me and my spouse can both be together to do this, and you go to the calendar, I have nothing available. Well, go back to my website. If you go to the About Us page, under Kalia and Bree's bio is a link to work with them. They have a few more openings in their schedule for appointments. So if you can't get an appointment with me, schedule one with one of them. Now, if it's Medicare, make sure you do it with Bree. Kalia's not certified to do the Medicare stuff. So but the healthcare marketplace, you're just looking to renew your plan. And actually, if you don't mind working with one of them, go ahead and do it. It takes things off of my plate. And it gives them a chance to make a little extra commission, because if they do the renewal for you, I share the commission with them on the plans that they do. So, and I don't mind doing that because it's good for my business. It's good training, practice for them. The more they, it's anything you do, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And I've noticed that they're asking fewer questions this year than last year because they've done a few already, but there's still some unique situations that pop up. So if you can't get me, schedule with one of them. They're using we're all using different calendar methods. I had Calendly before. Bree's still using Calendly. And then Kalia's using her Google Calendar. I didn't like the way the Google Calendar works so much for when I have different reasons that you're scheduling. If you just had one schedule, here's your book, one schedule. The Google Calendar works great for that. But that's why I like the TidyCal. It works very similar to Calendly. I was just able to get the same process for a lot less money because, I am in the business to make money, so I don't want to have to spend too much on my technology. So if I can save some money on one part of technology, we'll do that. Be looking for ads. I've mentioned before, I've got 3 school buses running around the Cookeville area that have some advertising on, and I don't know if they've changed the tables yet, but Cinco Amigos, the Mexican restaurant that's the green building there on Willow, was it Willow and Broad, I believe it is, the intersection there, right across from I forgot the name of the gas station now. But they have the advertising on their tables, and I was able to get in on they're updating the tables this year, and so I was able to get an ad there. So if you go to Cinco Amigos, you'll see my ad on their table. And so if you're one of my clients and you're having dinner with somebody else, you go, oh, hey, there's my insurance agent. That's a great way for a referral for me because they might be needing something. A lot of times one of the things that I don't talk about a lot on the radio, because I'm usually talking more Medicare, but I also do life insurance. And a lot of times, you generally aren't going to know, your friends aren't going to say, hey, who'd you get your life insurance with? That usually doesn't come up in conversation. But if you're, like I said, you're having dinner with him, oh, there's my agent. Oh, really? Oh, he does life insurance. Maybe I should give him a call, So, or, hey, that's the guy I heard on the radio. So hopefully people will start seeing me. I'm getting a lot of people that I've got a few people that have contacted me because they heard me on this show. And then I've got people who had just Googled, and we've been getting some great Google reviews from some of our clients. Really appreciate that. And that helps us get the word out that we can, how much we can help folks. And I still want to grow my business. So after the first, I'm not looking to hire anybody right now. This is not a time to be talking about hiring, just because we're just so busy. I don't have time to sit down and do an interview But if you've thought about dabbling in a career in the insurance field, even if you're working full time or you're working part time or you're semi-retired and thought, well, I maybe could do that and earn a little bit of. Come talk to me. There are some arrangements we can do. I'm not looking to hire any more payroll staff. but you can always contract as an independent and work, commission only. So there's some ways that I could, if you are interested in getting an insurance, I could maybe help you with that. And I do. I don't do home and auto. That's a different license. I do health and life insurance. It doesn't have to be Medicare. The ACA is steady business. We do dental plans, we do accident plans, cancer plans, hospital plans, all kinds of stuff. Other thing I was reminded this week, I can send you a link if you're going to travel and you're thinking about maybe you should need to get some travel insurance. I can refer you to a link to get what's called Geo Blue. And you can get it for just a trip, or if you're going to be out of the country for several months, like say, mission trip or something like that, they also have plans for that. So those are some things that we can do to help you make sure you're covered. I would say get one even if you're going on a cruise. I actually learned something this year that I didn't realize. The medical facilities on a cruise ship are great, but they are not part of your cruise package. So if you have to see the doctor on the cruise, that you are going to get billed. Now, hopefully your insurance will cover that, but that's why I say it makes sense to go ahead and get a travel policy for that. They're very inexpensive, and it may just be for that trip because you're possibly going to be, when you're in port, you might be in a foreign country, and your current insurance might not do you any good there. So those are some things to consider, to look at that when you're traveling. And I've been saying, as I close out my show, don't forget, go to insurancematchmaking.com. And there's a link there that will go to mattlibbyinsurance.com. That's where you could find the links to schedule an appointment with Bree or Kalia. And I've been saying, it's just a joke kind of thing. Until next week, see you on the radio. I was reminded of a catchphrase I used to use a long time ago in one of my times in B&I. But when I would get done with my little 60-second presentation, I would close out with the following. And so I think this is going to be my radio closeout from now on. Just remember, at Matt Libby Insurance, we can cover you from head to toe. It doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. See you next week, folks.
You've been listening to Insurance Matchmaking with Matt Libby, your path to health, life, and Medicare coverage with Matt Libby Insurance.